Chief Adesanya sat at the head of the room, his expression grave as he listened to Bimp and Amina present their accusations against Adewale and Funk. Bimp spoke first, her voice dripping with venom as she accused Adewale of pretending to be poor to deceive Funk into marriage. She claimed that Funk had been foolish to trust Adewale and argued that they were not fit to be part of the village community. Amina added fuel to the fire, recounting exaggerated stories and half-truths to sway the villagers against Adewale and Funk. She painted Funk as an opportunist who had abandoned her family and village for wealth and luxury in Lagos. Adewale listened quietly, his jaw clenched in frustration at the lies being spread about him and Funk. Funk sat beside him, her hands folded tightly in her lap as tears welled up in her eyes. She felt the weight of the accusations and the injustice of being judged based on falsehoods. When Bimp and Amina finished their accusations, Chief Adesanya turned to Adewale and Funk. The room fell silent as all eyes turned to them, waiting for their response. Adewale stood up slowly, his voice steady despite the turmoil inside him. He addressed Chief Adesanya and the villagers with sincerity and conviction, refuting each accusation with clarity and honesty. He spoke of his love for Funk and their journey together, emphasizing their commitment to honesty and integrity. Funk stood beside Adewale, her heart pounding with fear and hope. She spoke softly but passionately, defending her love for Adewale and explaining how they had found happiness together despite the challenges they faced. Chief Adesanya listened attentively, his expression thoughtful as he weighed the conflicting accounts before him. The villagers, stirred by Adewale and Funk's heartfelt defense, began to murmur among themselves, questioning the validity of Bimp and Amina's accusations. Just as Chief Adesanya was about to deliver his verdict, a voice rang out from the back of the room. It was the driver who had helped Adewale in Ijibu, accompanied by several villagers who had witnessed Adewale's kindness and humility during his time in the village. The driver spoke passionately about Adewale's character and recounted instances where Adewale had helped villagers in need without seeking recognition or reward. He praised Funk for her kindness and dedication to helping others, despite the challenges she faced. The villagers nodded in agreement, their initial skepticism giving way to admiration and respect for Adewale and Funk. Chief Adesanya listened to the testimonies, his expression softening as he realized the truth behind Bimp and Amina's malicious accusations. Finally, Chief Adesanya stood up and addressed the villagers. He thanked everyone for their patience and acknowledged the misunderstandings that had clouded their judgment. He declared Adewale and Funk innocent of the accusations against them and urged the villagers to embrace them back into the community with open hearts and minds. Relief washed over Adewale and Funk as the tension in the room dissolved. The villagers apologized for their initial mistrust and welcomed Adewale and Funk warmly. Bimp and Amina slunk away in defeat, their plot to discredit Adewale and Funk crumbling before their eyes. As Adewale and Funk returned to Lagos, they felt a sense of peace and unity that strengthened their bond even more. They knew that challenges would always arise, but they had learned that love, honesty, and perseverance would always prevail in the end. Little did they know, Bimp and Amina were not yet ready to give up their vendetta against them. They retreated to their home in Ijibu, plotting their next move to bring Adewale and Funk down once and for all. In the days that followed the village meeting, Adewale and Funk returned to their life in Lagos with a renewed sense of gratitude for each other. They focused on their work and continued to build their life together, supported by their close friends and trusted employees. Meanwhile, in Ijibu, Bimp and Amina nursed their wounded pride and intensified their efforts to tarnish Adewale and Funk's reputation. They spread more rumors, twisted stories, and tried to sway those who were still uncertain about Adewale and Funk's innocence. One evening, as Adewale was reviewing plans for an upcoming project, he received an unexpected visit from an elderly woman from Ijibu. She introduced herself as Mama Ola, a respected elder in the village who had known Adewole's parents and witnessed his upbringing. Mama Ola had come to Lagos with a heavy heart, troubled by the division caused in Ijebu by Bimp and Amina's malicious gossip. She spoke with sincerity and warmth, recounting fond memories of Adewole's parents and expressing her belief in Adewole's integrity. Adewole listened attentively, touched by Mama Ola's words of support and encouragement. She shared stories of Adewole's childhood kindness and generosity, which resonated deeply with him. Mama Ola also spoke highly of Funk, praising her grace and compassion despite the challenges she had faced. Moved by Mama Ola's visit, Adewole thanked her warmly for her kind words and reassurance. He promised to visit Ijebu soon to address the lingering doubts and mend the rift caused by the false accusations. Back in Ijebu, Bimp and Amina learned of Mama Ola's visit to Adewole in Lagos. They seethed with anger and frustration, realizing that their campaign against Adewole and Funk was losing ground. Determined not to be defeated, they plotted a final scheme to discredit Adewole once and for all. They approached Chief Adesanya once more, this time with a fabricated story of financial misconduct involving Adewole's business dealings in Lagos. They presented forged documents and manipulated evidence to make their case seem convincing. Chief Adesanya, torn by the conflicting accounts and under pressure from Bimp and Amina, reluctantly agreed to reopen the investigation into Adewole's financial affairs. He summoned Adewole and Funk back to Ijebu for another village meeting, this time focused on the new allegations. Adewole and Funk received the summons with mixed emotions. They knew they had to confront this latest challenge head-on, but they also felt weary of the constant attacks on their integrity. Nevertheless, they prepared themselves mentally and emotionally for the journey back to Ijebu. As they traveled to Ijebu once again, Adewole and Funk remained steadfast in their belief in truth and justice. They drew strength from the support of Mama Ola and others who had stood by them during the previous ordeal. Upon their arrival in Ijebu, Adewole and Funk were greeted by a tense atmosphere. Villagers whispered and cast wary glances in their direction, unsure of what to believe amidst the conflicting accusations. Chief Adesanya presided over the meeting with solemnity, his expression grave as he listened to Bimp and Amina present their latest allegations against Adewole. They painted him as a dishonest businessman who had exploited his wealth for personal gain, casting doubt on his character and motives. Adewole listened patiently to the accusations, his jaw set in determination. Funk sat beside him, her hand resting on his arm in silent support. She knew how much Adewole valued his reputation and was prepared to defend him with every ounce of her strength. When Bimp and Amina finished their accusations, Chief Adesanya turned to Adewole and Funk once more. The villagers held their breath, waiting for Adewole's response to the serious allegations. Adewole stood up slowly, his voice calm yet firm. He addressed Chief Adesanya and the villagers with unwavering honesty, refuting each accusation with clarity and evidence. He explained the true nature of his business dealings, backed by documents and testimonials from trusted associates. Funk stood beside Adewole, her heart pounding with anxiety yet filled with pride for his courage and integrity. She spoke passionately about their journey together, emphasizing their commitment to transparency and ethical practices. Chief Adesanya listened intently, weighing the evidence presented before him. The villagers, divided by doubt and loyalty, listened to both sides with growing unease. Just as Chief Adesanya was about to deliver his verdict, a surprising interruption occurred. It was Mama Ola once again, accompanied by several villagers who had benefited from Adewole's generosity over the years. They spoke fervently about Adewole's positive impact on the community and his unwavering commitment to honesty and fairness. The villagers murmured in agreement, swayed by the heartfelt testimonials and undeniable evidence of Adewole's character. Bimp and Amina exchanged uneasy glances, realizing that their final scheme was unraveling before their eyes. Chief Adesanya, moved by the overwhelming support for Adewole and Funk, paused to reflect on the implications of the accusations. He recognized the truth amidst the falsehoods and acknowledged Adewole and Funk's innocence once more. With a solemn voice, Chief Adesanya declared Adewole and Funk cleared of all allegations. He apologized to them on behalf of the village for the turmoil and mistrust caused by Bimp and Amina's deceitful actions. Relief washed over Adewole and Funk as they heard Chief Adesanya's verdict. The tension in the room dissolved, replaced by a sense of unity and reconciliation among the villagers. As Adewole and Funk prepared to return to Lagos, they felt a profound gratitude for Mama Ola and the villagers who had stood by them throughout the ordeal. They knew that their bond had grown stronger through adversity, and they were determined to continue their journey together with resilience and love. Little did they know, Bimp and Amina watched from the sidelines, their defeat fueling a bitter resentment that would linger in the shadows of Ajibu. Despite their attempts to undermine Adewole and Funk, the village remained united in their support for the couple. Back in Lagos, Adewole and Funk resumed their lives with renewed vigor. They focused on their work and community projects, using their experiences to advocate for justice and integrity in business and personal relationships. Months passed, and the memory of the village ordeal began to fade. Adewole's business flourished, and Funk continued her work with local charities, impacting many lives with her kindness and compassion. One day, Adewole received a letter from Chief Adesanya, expressing his gratitude for Adewole and Funk's resilience and forgiveness. The letter also contained an invitation to visit Ajibu once more, this time for a celebration of unity and reconciliation among the villagers. Adewole and Funk accepted the invitation gladly. They returned to Ajibu, where they were warmly welcomed by Mama Ola and the villagers who had stood by them during their darkest hours. The celebration was filled with music, dance, and heartfelt speeches of gratitude and forgiveness. During the festivities, Chief Adesanya publicly acknowledged Adewole and Funk's courage and integrity. He apologized once more for the turmoil caused by false accusations and expressed his admiration for their unwavering faith in truth and justice. As the sun set over Ajibu, Adewole and Funk stood together, reflecting on their journey. They knew that their love and faith had been tested, but they emerged stronger than ever, with a deeper appreciation for the importance of honesty, forgiveness, and community. Moral lessons. Integrity and truthfulness. Adewole and Funk's story highlights the importance of maintaining integrity and truthfulness, even in the face of adversity. Proverbs 12 verse 22 says, "The Lord detests lying lips, but he delights in people who are trustworthy." Forgiveness and reconciliation. Despite the harm caused by false accusations, Adewole and Funk chose to forgive and reconcile with their accusers and the community. Colossians 3 verse 13 reminds us, "Bear with each other and forgive one another if any of you has a grievance against someone. Forgive as the Lord forgave you." Community support and unity. The story demonstrates the power of community support and unity in overcoming challenges. Ecclesiastes 4 verses 9 to 10 states, "Two are better than one, because they have a good return for their labor. If either of them falls down, one can help the other up. But pity anyone who falls and has no one to help them up." Through their journey, Adewole and Funk exemplified these principles, inspiring others to embrace honesty, forgiveness, and the strength found in unity. As they bid farewell to Ajibu that evening, they carried with them a legacy of resilience and love that would endure for generations to come.